That PMQs went on rather longer than usual for reasons that everybody except Kemi Badenoch seems to understand. This is a moment of epic national significance and importance. I think, and I'm just looking, well, let me make sure we choose carefully. I don't want to go... David Allen Green, one of my favourite commentators on social media, and used to work for a Conservative MP many moons ago. A few weeks ago, the leader of the opposition did well on Mandelson at PMQs, and with equal fair open-mindedness, one can say that this PMQs is one of the very worst performances by any leader of the opposition. James Ball of the New World points out that she's trying to pressure on Iran, but feels like she's entirely ignoring the answers in order to stick to a bizarre script. And the callousness of saying I wasn't asking about evacuations looked indifferent and callous when UK citizens are being evacuated from the regions. I'm also hearing, Natasha, but I, as you know, have the best listeners in the history of phone-in radio, Tom and Ash and others, suggesting that she got her facts completely wrong when it comes to the missile capabilities of Type 45 destroyers. But I don't know if Tom and Ash are entirely reliable on this.
I think Tom is reliable on this, James, because I've been told exactly the same by somebody from within government. So Kemi, according to them...
the MOD?
The Ministry of Defence
Right.
say that Kemi is getting her facts wrong on the Type 45s. And it is true, they can shoot down missiles. They already have done so. Keir Starmer did say earlier this week that they'd already been involved in shooting some drones that they believed
they were criticised because the drones were cheap and the missiles were really expensive. But anyway, and then she moves effortlessly to claiming that other people don't know what they're talking about or don't understand. That was bad.
She didn't... Her tone was all wrong for a week like this, wasn't it? And I think we sort of knew that was going to be the case from the start. We maybe hoped it would be a little bit better. And also you heard from Keir Starmer that sort of this bit of a snark in his voice as well, saying, could you please kind of quiet down there, people really want to hear this.
Yeah.
And people did want to hear this.
And she said they didn't. That's not what I didn't ask about that. I don't care about people, how we're going to evacuate British citizens from the Middle East.
Yeah, and usually what she's doing in there is saying, Keir Starmer, you're not answering the question. I think people do get frustrated with Keir Starmer for not asking the question. But on a day like this, absolutely not. People are very interested in what the government is doing. And I am surprised that she didn't ask a question about what is the government doing to evacuate those tens of thousands of people that could be stuck. And Keir Starmer actually confirmed today that we didn't know, I think, that another 2 planes will be going, another 2 chartered government planes will be leaving Oman as well. So that's new information he's able to reveal.
In many ways, he's at his best and she's at her worst at times like this.
I think so, yeah. Keir Starmer absolutely, needed, I think, this moment to sort of come back on the front foot from what was a very bruising by-election last week. And he does. He comes into his own on the world stage. He is good at foreign affairs. He is good at responding to world events internationally. And he said in PMQs then, these events, this is what makes a leader of the opposition. This is what we, can confer from her. But absolutely the same of him, right? That he's trying to set up himself as I'm the statesman and you are not. You are not deserving of this role to be Prime Minister. And that's arguably what he is showing that he is best at. And many Labour MPs, I think, will agree with him that what we want to see from Keir Starmer and what we want to see from him is going a little bit harder on Donald Trump, going a little bit further.
And as we've talked about previously, MPs on both sides of the House will feel all three. Well, I don't suppose that the Reform outfit will be pleased that they're standing up to Donald Trump because when he says jump, they just squeal how high. Another thing that confused me, even as she was lecturing everybody else on not understanding things, was how she could claim that she was opposed to escalation while condemning Keir Starmer for not escalating.
She is not. She is opposed. Sorry, she wants escalation. She wants the government.
But then
to do
she said
more.
She didn't.
No. Okay. No, she keeps saying she wants the government to do more, and she wants us to go. She's saying the government aren't doing enough. So yeah, that's a bit of a confusing line for her there. But really, is this really what people want to hear about? Is this really what people want to know? Keir Starmer.
No, it's a day for fact, isn't it? It's like a public service broadcast, PMQs at a time of military engagement or war.
And Sir Ed Davey, I think, was bang on when he was asking about energy bills. That is exactly what people are worried about today. How is the oil prices? How is this going to actually affect me on the street? And that is exactly what he did. And she did start to talk about that at the end of PMQs, didn't she, when she was sort of asking about what the government's doing on that. But it fell to Ed Davey, I think, to ask the questions that people want to hear today.
Gosh. That's almost it, really. I brought it in on time, but as you say, the opportunity for a little bit of unity, a little bit of national interest, the kind of wartime spirit. I wonder if Kemi Badenoch even knows that during times of war you often have cabinets made up of people from all the political parties in the House of Commons, rather than allowing partisanship or the pursuit of cheap political points to be prioritised over the welfare of, most obviously, British military personnel, but on this occasion, the welfare of British citizens caught up in a war zone. Although, as a consequence of one British citizen being caught up in a war zone, I do actually have an unhinged headline that I feel I should share just before we head towards the news. So I think we've got time. Have we got time for a little unhinged? I think we've got time for a little unhinged. All right, I'll be very, very quick.
Unhinged headline.
Nick Candy, who I think appears in the Epstein files and is also treasurer of Nigel Farage's political outfit. Why, even as missiles fly over my head, I feel safer in Dubai than in Sadiq Khan's London. Just when you think these people can't get any madder or any more bent double by the fact that the mayor of London is brown and a Muslim, up pops Nick Candy, a feature of the Epstein files and the treasurer of Nigel Farage's latest outfit, to claim that he feels safer in the middle of an actual war zone than he does in his multi-million-pound Knightsbridge apartment.